welcome to another Looney Tunes review video. If you are new to the channel, make sure you subscribe to follow my journey to review all 1000 Looney Tunes shorts and give this video a like as well. So this is for Hi Diving Hare, and joining me today is Fearless Freep himself, Manny Cruz. Say hi!
Hooray, 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 ladies and gentlemen, and come here, Anthony's newest review of Hi Diving Hare. Come on.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Now, just to start things off, of course, this is Hi Diving Hare, released on the 30th of April 1949, and there was a Blue Ribbon reissue sometime in the late 50s. It's the 554th in the series, and it's directed by Friz Freleng. You can find this short on the Looney Tunes Golden Collection Volume 1 DVD set and on the Platinum Collection Volume 3 Blu-ray set. I have links below so you can check that out for yourself. In this cartoon that you've probably all seen hundreds of times because it's been played to death, and we'll get into that in a moment, but essentially Bugs Bunny has his own vaudeville show featuring the one and only Fearless Freep, who, as I mentioned, is with me today. And now, Sam loves Fearless Freep, but unfortunately Fearless Freep is delayed. So what does Sam do? Well, like any Karen these days, he makes Bugs Bunny do the act himself, and it doesn't go very good for Sam. So, a few bits of trivia. Let's get underway with that. So first up, yet another background element in the Friz Freleng short. We see Frizzy the Magician, of course, after Friz Freleng, so this is one of the easier ones to spot. Now, when I mentioned before about this being overplayed, part of that might have to do with the fact that it's available within the Looney Bugs Bunny movie, which was a compilation film with many different cartoons, mostly Friz Freleng ones in that one, and an edited version of this cartoon was within that. And this is how I watched it first, I should mention too. But there is one reference that would go over the heads of many people.
Open up that door! You notice I didn't say Richard? Come on!
That I was really curious about, so I looked it up. So there was actually a song in 1946 called Open the Door, Richard, and that song is actually based off a very popular vaudeville stage routine, and from what I've been reading, the routine itself was made famous by Dusty Fletcher on various stages like the Apollo Theater in New York and in various short films and whatnot. So he would be like all drunk and dressed in all these downtrodden clothes, rags, whatever you want to call them, and he would come on stage with a ladder. And every so often he would put the ladder down, he would try to climb up, not being successful at it, and would say, open the door, Richard, in a drunken sort of half-singing type voice, and of course people found that to be funny. Well, certainly funny than my description of it. Anyway, I think it's one of those you have to be there to see it. Isn't it right, Manny?
Well, if you could get a time machine to go back 100 years and watch a vaudeville routine, then yeah, sure, why not?
That's right. And you would have indeed probably seen this, and hence why it was so popular, and was popular enough to have its own song. So that's where that comes from. Now, what an amazing cartoon. And I know I mentioned this before in a few cartoons that have been quote-unquote overplayed, but there's a reason. This cartoon is just about dang perfect. Some may argue it takes a little bit longer to get to the actual main feast of this cartoon somewhat, where it's just involving all the high diving hijinks, but honestly, even the stuff leading up to that was pretty funny. I thought it was great. I mean, what did you think, Manny?
Going with the whole overplayed aspect, I probably didn't see this one as much as you did, but I could tell it was overplayed in the extent that... So this cartoon was from 1949. It's one of the cartoons in the post-48 package. And for those of us that know, those are the cartoons that Warner Brothers owned from August, September of 1948 on until the end of the 60s. And this cartoon, along with a lot of other ones from the 50s and the early 60s, were the ones like the cream of the crop cartoons. That these were the ones that were featured on the Bugs Bunny show for 40 years. I remember seeing this cartoon in particular, I think on Nickelodeon as a kid, because, if you wanted to watch the cream of the crop, this cartoon, What's Opera Doc, One Froggy Evening, you would see those cartoons on the Bugs Bunny show, which was shown on ABC when I was a kid, because I know that the Bugs Bunny show, over its course of its history, bounced between ABC and CBS, and I saw it on ABC, Channel 7 in New York City in the 90s. And I also saw it on Nickelodeon, because some of the cream of the crop cartoons made it along to the Nickelodeon package. Because for me, Nickelodeon as a kid was Black and White Bosco, Porky, Buddy, and the the Patty Freeling and Seven Arts cartoons. Yeah, because that's my idea of great cartoons. So, and I also never saw the Looney Bugs Bunny movie. I know I've had all these years to see it, and I haven't seen it. Blasphemy, that's it. If you hear Anthony talking by himself for the rest of the commentary, you'll know why. But
I'll be pointing the finger of shame.
I'm not wearing the Stone of Shame or the Stone of Triumph. There's my first Simpsons reference. But but I did see this here and there on Cartoon Network later on in the early 2000s when the Warner Library was consolidated under one. But I'll give you another example. You're saying, oh yeah, certain cartoons overplayed. I watched Long-Haired Hare twice today. I was putting it on at my job, and it still remains hilarious. And the same thing with this cartoon. It doesn't matter how many times you see it, you're still going to find something new to appreciate it, and you're still going to find something to laugh at.
Exactly.
And this is not just a cartoon like that's a personal favorite of yours, but like I love to sing a ton of times. I've seen What's Opera Doc a ton of times. I've seen Feed the Kitty a ton of times, and they work so well. It doesn't matter the amount of viewings.
Exactly right. I mean, let's take a look at this cartoon, because it really is that great as far as I'm concerned. And sometimes you get these wonderful little touches in these cartoons. Like, for example, when Bugs makes his announcement, which you can do the voice better than me, but how he just stops to eat the carrot midway when he's talking.
I love that part.
I've
been guilty of doing that myself, where it's like, hold that thought, or drinking something real quick. All right. And furthermore, this cartoon, I wrote it in my notes. I just wrote Friz's timing, chef's kiss.
Yeah.
If you want Friz Freleng's comedic timing, like a gold standard example of how good his timing was, watch this cartoon.
Exactly right. Exactly. And it's just how, even that moment of him eating the carrot points out how great his timing is. It was done just enough, and it's really funny. But I also want to point out, because a lot of people might be wondering what we mean by the later cartoons having the budget slashed. How big of a difference does that make? Well, stuff like this would not be done in the later cartoons because it costs money to do extra things like that. If this cartoon was done in the 60s, you would have Bugs just introducing the whole setup, and that's pretty much it. So just to give everyone a little bit of an example there. Now, can we appreciate how Sam takes all the tickets? He's like a little kid. This is one of the few times where I actually am happy for Sam. Even though he's a villain, even he's a bad guy, you just sort of think, oh, he's going to enjoy the show he's always wanted to see, and of course it doesn't end up happening.
I love the line that he's like, I'm a splurgin'. And of course I wrote in my notes, every time I justify buying something insanely nerdy and expensive that's like Looney Tunes or Ghostbusters or Ninja Turtle related, I'm a splurgin'. I got to start doing that now. That's what I should have done a few days ago when I went to a GameStop as I was coming home. I walk in, I'm like, let me see what's going on. Oh, is that a Lord Zed from Power Rangers helmet that's over $100? I'm a splurgin'. Best decision ever.
Yeah, I can imagine so. Also, when Bugs does get the news that Fearless Freep is not arriving that particular evening.
Just a minute.
Telegram.
The telegram voice just kills me. I don't know why. It's just a stupid one-line voice. It's like, Mel, quickly, can you just say telegram? Like, telegram.
It reminds me of in The Wabbit That Came to Supper, coincidentally Friz Freleng, when near the end of the cartoon, Elmer Fudd gets a telegram from Uncle Wooey, telegram for Mr. Fudd, and this one, telegram, and I was the same way. I was like, I love that dopey voice he does, just to say telegram, but it works.
Of course.
And then, going on with Mel Blanc, obviously, he does Bugs, he does Sam, and, Bugs as a carny. Hooray, hooray, ladies and gentlemen, step right up. Of course, some of the lines that Sam delivers in this cartoon, like, great horny toads, or, I'm a splurgin', or my personal favorite, when Sam falls for like the third or fourth time, he defies gravity, comes right back up.
I hate you.
I hate you. And then he falls down again. That is
Chef's
hilarious.
kiss. Chef's kiss
Indeed.
for that.
Mwah.
Exactly. Now, I did notice one little weird error. This actually was something I noticed even as a kid. I don't know if a lot of you guys have noticed, but there's a weird error where Sam and Bugs are going up the ladder, but they're on the wrong side of the ladder, and you can see it even more clearly in the high definition. Now, does that mean I'm going to all of a sudden hate this cartoon or something because it's something silly like that? No, but it was just something that just stood out to me even as a kid. I don't know. But what I do love are the perspective shots as well. Like, so even though that shot, yeah, there's a little error, you just can see how high this diving board is, and of course, when you're up on top, how high up you really are. It's just incredible, the artistry of that.
Well, speaking of error, and this is something I don't know if the one that you saw is the same, but the copy that I saw was from, I believe, one of the Blu-rays, and something that drives me nuts, and the lower pitch of the cartoon itself. I wish I had a copy, like a high-definition copy that had the original pitch, because the second I started hearing the merry-go-round broke down, real quick tangent, I have something called absolute pitch, or something called perfect pitch, it depends on who you ask, that it's something that not a lot of people are born with. It's you notice it mainly in musicians, but I can hear a note and I can identify what the note's being played, or if you tell me to sing a note on command, I can do that. And not many people can do it, and I could already hear some of the people, all people with perfect pitch say they have it. But it's a blessing and a curse, because I can hear mistakes in music that other people can't. Or it's like if you look at the color green, you automatically know, oh, that's green. It comes to your head. Like I hear a note, oh, that's C, that's D flat or whatever. And when I remember first watching this cartoon, the merry-go-round broke down is in the key of C. But this recording or this remaster of the cartoon is slightly lower. It's about a semitone lower in pitch. And it's like every time I hear it, it makes like me not freak out, but it's like, why couldn't they just do it in the correct pitch?
I hate you.
Or another one that I could think of, which is a cartoon coming soon, is The Rabbit of Seville. And specifically, the music from Mozart is so ingrained in my brain. And then when I watch the cartoon, I hear it, and it's a pitch lower than what it's supposed to be. It drives me up a wall. This one, not as much, because there's not a lot of... I don't want to say the music's not important, but it's a little... Sorry, this is a tangent, but it's just something that bugs me about some of the remasters that Warner Brothers did. I hope somebody got fired for that blunder.
Of course, there's the Simpson reference. I actually fixed
You knew it was coming.
Yeah, I knew it was coming. I actually fixed the pitch for my own personal copy, so yeah, I know what you mean. I mean, I can't identify notes like you, and if I did, I'd be probably a bit of a smartass, and so if someone burps near me, I'll say, that burp was an F flat, or I don't know, which is not even a real thing, I think, but anyway.
No, F flat is a note.
Oh, it is? Okay.
It's anybody who writes it in the music is evil because it's rare, but F flat is the same as E natural. It's an enharmonic equivalent, same note with a different name.
Got it. See, I'm learning. But back to the cartoon. Of course, the rest of the cartoon is a simple idea executed really well. Now, we all have our favorite part of this short in terms of the gag involving the high diving. Now, I'll see what Manny says first, what his favorite one is. So what would you say is your favorite out of all of them? Because I know you said they're all great. You said that to me before we recorded. But which one would you pick as the best?
Why does he always hit me with these hard questions? I think after thinking through the cartoon again, it has to be the scene where Sam keeps going up and down. Glissando falls down. And he keeps going up and down and up and down. I was telling you before the recording, every single time I think of a glissando. So a glissando is when you slide your hands down a piano, or if you're playing a harp. This is the first cartoon I think of. Or when I try to explain a glissando to a non-musician, I'm like, do you remember the Bugs Bunny cartoon where Sam kept falling down into a pool? Yeah, that's what a glissando is. Sliding down the piano. But I think it's that scene in particular. He keeps going up and down and up and down and up and down. And it's again, Friz Freleng's timing is on point.
Especially there, yeah, exactly right. So, my favorite scene, and it's probably one that you're going to go, oh, I should have said that or something. It has to be...
Where's the critter at?
What's up, Doc?
Great horny toads! What are you doing down there upside downy?
I'm not upside down, Doc. You are. Look.
That's a good one. That's
That's
really
my
good
favorite. Just the most surreal one, which just boggles the absolute mind. But they're all great. Look, all of the diving gags are fantastic in this one, and of course, it ends beautifully with Bugs defying the laws of gravity because, of course, he never studied law. So, a great way to end the cartoon, I feel.
Before I give the rating, there's just like 3 quick things I want to mention. First, you were talking about the posters in the background. They have one that says "girls, girls, girls," and that's why Looney Tunes aren't always for kids. So I appreciated that. Not the. All right, never mind. I'm going to go down a rabbit hole, pun intended, that I'm going to not get out of. The scene with the Indian when Bugs Bunny's dressed up as an Indian, he's leading Sam on a wild goose chase. I never saw that scene until I think it was when I bought the DVD and Blu-ray. I was like, oh, I never saw this before. Every time I think of Yosemite Sam, I think of the piece of music from Schubert, the Earl Kerning. I'll say in English. My German's rusty today. Bum, 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 bum. And you hear that during the scene where Bug says, "Them's fighting woids." And every time I hear that, I geek out. So, also, 500 feet. That's how tall the ladder is. 152 meters. You're welcome.
Wow.
So I did the math for you.
Thanks a lot. And, I'm giving this one... See, I was going to say 9.5, but you know what? I'm going to use 10 out of 10. I have to say it. Yep, this is perfect. Like, I don't care. 10 out of 10. This is pinnacle Bugs. Pinnacle... not just pinnacle Freleng Bugs, but pinnacle Bugs, period. So what would you give this one?
This is tough. I think because it does feel a little slow in the beginning, but once it picks up, it picks up. I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10.
Okay.
It's not, I mean, this is definitely a great cartoon. And if I'm not mistaken, it's on the 100 greatest Looney Tunes list. Yeah, and don't quote me on it. I don't have the list in front of me right now. But if it is, it's well-deserved.
Exactly. I think it is indeed. So, we'll wrap this one up here. I mean, let me know in the comments below what you guys think of this one. And, yeah, tell me which of the actual gags do you like the best out of all of the high diving gags. And, of course, to end on this review, I want to point out something. Finally, we get a Friz Freleng Bugs Bunny short with a title that actually fits the short. High Diving Hare. And guess what? We have high diving in it. Amazing. And I actually remember what the cartoon is as a result. Hooray.
Woohoo!
Woohoo! And that's the third and final Simpsons reference because that will do us for this review. So thanks for watching, guys. And until next time, take care.
See you later, you varmint. Now, you smarty pants, let's see you get out in this one. This time you're a diving.
I know this defies the law of gravity, but, you see, I never studied law.